Hello everyone, Bashar here. So we have some patches. GGG is working hard to fix the game, which I appreciate. I mean, they did a very bad job at releasing. Right? The game was, I would say, almost unplayable, but I persevered, so to speak. And anyway, so what we got recently, so you might have been privy to slash exploit slash abuse slash cheat. So guys, the ritual unique tablet was allowing infinite rerolls, but the problem was, I mean, if you put enough ritual tablets in with cheaper reroll in, you could get the reroll cost to zero. So you see the problem there, right? You can reroll infinitely many times and it's free, right? Normally, being able to reroll infinitely many times doesn't do anything because you just can't afford it. You will run out of favors. But when the reroll cost is zero, then you can. So there are screenshots. There were screenshots of people with multiple very expensive omens, right? Lots of rituals, even mirrors, right? Because ritual screens can contain mirrors as well. And imagine you are literally rolling for free, so you will just, if you have the patience, you can roll 10,000 times and find a mirror. Yeah. So in this patch at 02D, they have prevented that. They have changed the tablet to reroll as twice many times as normally possible, and they have also banned more than 300 accounts that did the exploit. That's pretty good, right? It's actually, I think, one of the things that kept people going because the game is rather unplayable. It's getting better and better, of course. So they have removed the exploiters, right? They have removed the exploited currency. That's what they said, and also they have banned those people until the next league. Yeah, that's it. That's the most important thing about this patch. And also they have the new speed skill called Weak. Right? I'm not gonna go too much in detail. There is a lot. There are some beast taming fixes as well. Yeah, let's go. That's a hot fix. Okay, that's actually somewhat important. The other stuff is not that big, but you now need to have less waystone increase to get the map from the final rare. So guys, when you do a map, right, you get a chance to find the map all around, but the last rare that finishes the map for you has a really very highly increased chance of dropping your map, right? But still, even with the increased chance and combine that with the map's increased waystone chance, you could sometimes miss, right? And they are working towards that to make it happen all the time. So now you need to have less. So for example, guys, you are doing tier 15 map, and if you are not face rolling the tier 15 map, you can go for augmentation, transmutation, regal, or just elk, right? Instead of doing 6 modifiers, and that will give you something like 40%, 80%, or even at most like 100% chance increase based on fine chance, and even with that amount you can not get a map, right? So that's what they did. They now reduced the amount of increase based on chance, and after this patch was deployed, so this was on April the 8th, right, 3 days ago. So after the patch has been deployed, I think I missed like once or twice total, right? Every single rare, final rare of the map would drop me some, and of course guys, you can also get some during the map, and because they have improved the maps to not allow them to drop lower tier maps. This kind of means you can sustain. So what I mean by that is, guys, if you are doing a tier 15 map, you cannot get a tier 14 map. You will either get a tier 15 map or you will just get no map at all, right? So imagine the last rare has a really high chance of dropping you the map, right? and you also have a chance to get some during the map. So guys, for example, right now it's been a while for me, and I have failed maybe 1 or 2 maps, and I'm sitting on around 20 tier 5 tier 15 maps. So yeah, the sustain is definitely real. Yeah, so you need less waystone chance to ensure a map drops from these conditions at tier 12 maps, notably changing at tier 14 plus. Right? So imagine guys, and you shouldn't be doing white maps at tier 15 or 14, right? You should be doing rare maps. So that's kind of means you almost always get a map, right? Okay, so that's an important hotfix. It's small, but okay. So now we have the 0.2e. This is actually a rather big patch. It could have been 0.2.1, but they didn't do it. So they did fix the campaign a little bit. I mean, if you ever drop by the stream, guys, when I'm doing the campaign, I was always complaining Yak 3 because almost every area is horrible. They are way too big, right? Lots of dead ends. Monsters in there are extremely dangerous. So my severely hated was Mutland Waterways and Apex of Filth. Mutland Waterways is the area that you pull off the lever and drain canals, right? But you do it so many times. And also the monsters in there are pretty annoying. The shamans do corpse explosions and whatnot, right? And the Apex of Field is the terribly big area in which we have a boss, but the boss is, I mean, you cannot learn how the map goes to find the boss quickly, right? You can travel around a lot. Azak Bog is also pretty annoying. That was my number 3 or 4. The one that we find the Akta Pokta boss, the spirit boss. You can't travel around too much, so they have all fixes. Let's go to it. So the Drowned City and Utsal, they will have some additional areas when the game is when the game is released properly, right? And they kept the areas that lead to those areas, right? But the problem is they don't exist right now. So that means, there is a huge area that you need to traverse, which ends in a dead end, right? Imagine the frustration. So they have removed those parts, and so they are much smaller. Yeah. Apex of Field, the one I was complaining about. The Apex of Field has Agorat-like linear flow, smaller and faster to navigate. Yeah. Very big. Azakbog is now more rectangular and slightly smaller. Very nice. This is the stuff that I have been complaining about. Infested Barrens now as a bottleneck. Okay. So guys, normally you leave Jungle Ruins, you go into the Infested Barrens, and then you have to search for the waypoint so you can get to the Mutland Waterways later on. Now that's at start as well. So the thing is, these do not look like much, but they will save you a lot of time in the campaign. Jungle Ruins has been made smaller, more clear. Temple of Chaos and Hikuana's Machinarium entrances are closer to each other in the Chimera. That's nice. This is very nice, guys. This is somewhat extremely frustrating. Added an extra soul code to both Hikuana's Machinarium and Hikuana's Sanctum to reduce the average amount it takes to find them. So the medium soul codes can be very frustrating, right? I mean, the first one, there are some extras, so that wasn't that bad, but the second one was pretty bad. That's also nice. The checkpoint at the end of Hikuana's Machinarium has been moved to beside the final stone altar, so you can. That's nice. Okay. Yeah. Mutland Water Maze has been made smaller. I was literally complaining about this. increase the instance timeout time for areas with side areas of them. So guys, for example, we go to the infested barrens, then you go to the chimeral wetlands, and you want to do something, and by the time you get back to the infested waterways, it was reset, right? This can happen. So they have increased the reset timer, so this shouldn't happen as frequently. Add a few more checkpoints, very nice. The density of areas has been adjusted. Sure. Player balance changes. Bleeding no longer only considers damage that to target's life damage. Okay. Chaos inoculation now makes you additionally immune to bleeding. Okay. Passive skill tree clusters that granted additional stun threshold based on your energy shield now also grant additional ailment threshold. So you gain ailment threshold and stun threshold both at once. Nice. They have added those to jewels as well. Stun threshold 515, big deal. Stun threshold, big deal. I mean, these are not too huge. Sorcerer specific changes. Arc has been buffed. I mean, yeah, they did the number on Frost Sorceress, guys. So last season, Stormweaver was the most popular character, and now it's quite unplayable. So they are trying to make good on that, I guess. There are various buffs. Exposure durations have been increased. Huntress Rapid Assault has been buffed. Spearfield has been buffed. Okay, Warrior. So guys, Smith of Kitava is actually pretty popular. I'm surprised they buffed it. Against the Anvil, Ascendancy passive now empowers your next 3 melee attacks instead of 1. Empowered attacks are up to 12 from 4 and channels faster. Pretty nice. So I haven't played it, so I wouldn't know exactly. Combust damage has been reduced quite a bit. That doesn't sound good. Armor break, inflict on players now 4 seconds. That's not a volume specific change though. That's very nice, guys. I mean, because in maps, when you get the armor break, it just doesn't go away. It's nice that it's been reduced to 4 seconds. And also, guys, there was something they added in the previous patch, in one of the previous patches. When you full break armor, they also take 20% physical damage, and V players were susceptible to this as well. That's removed. Yeah. Ranger specific changes. Stormcaller arrow has been buffed. Lightning rod and arrow have been nerfed terribly. Now they are bringing it back a little bit. So this is around 50%-ish damage buff. And duration has also been increased. Lightning arrow's beam targeting radius has been increased by 33%. Okay. I hear now that it's not bad, the lightning arrow and rod. I mean, it's not like the old times, but still not bad. Tornado shot. Okay, duration increase. Glory, that's a new resource they added for Hammer of the Gods. And there's also Spear of Solaris apparently. If you are interrupted, this glory is not considered nice. There is a new support gem. Deliriums now last much longer. And strong boxes now pause. Okay. So this is actually pretty important. Monster speed changes. So guys, some monsters, you might know this, the wolves, etc., fast moving monsters, sometimes they kept slashing at you, and this would end in a literal lock, right? Your character would lock, you would get slammed until you die. So they have made various improvements on that stuff. We can take a look at here. So already fast monsters cannot receive the haste aura modifier. That's pretty nice. Werewolf plovers and tender plovers will now enter a walking stance after performing a melee action. That's nice. I mean, like they hit you, even if they stun you, then they will be a little bit slower, and maybe you can put some distance between you and them. Halve the number of venomous crabs and hunting grounds, yeah. Plume serpents. So guys, early in the game, there are a lot of range attackers there, and you can't handle them sometimes. These are pretty nice to do. Yeah, cultists in Phaeton. Yeah, same thing. In the Valley of Titans, there are a lot of untargetable monsters. They have removed the boulder ants. The Faridun have all been modified to remove the interrupt events. That's nice. Faridun are very dangerous. These are the fellas you encounter when you are moving to the act boss. Okay, this is very big. Dire Taskbar and line charges are now more likely push you to the side instead of pushing you along with them when they charge you. Yeah, guys. The antline charges are the big things that roll as a ball, right? Very frustrating. At least now they are pushing us to the side instead of taking us with them. Massively adjusted Azak Bob. Nice. Yeah, Viper Napazzi is one of the hardest fights in the campaign. They have reduced the amount and size of the purple areas. You know, there are the orange areas and the purple areas, and when you stay in them, you take a lot of damage. They made that a little bit better. Uxmal and Zykluk also have been balanced. Revive timer has been capped by 7.5 seconds. Now wands and scepters can have sockets, and they can have runes placed in them. So for example, I saw a few, you can get like 10% damage added or some stuff like that. They have added some artificers to the campaign. We now have runes that give attributes: adept, robust, and resolve. These give strength, intelligence, and dexterity. So, you know, if you are short of some attribute to wear some item, you can wear them. These are all pretty nice. Increase the number of armor scraps and blacksmith whetstone that can be found in the northern quarry. That's nice, guys, because at the beginning of the season, I picked quality and socket items and, you know, salvaged them for so long. Such a boring experience, right? So, you know, we having access to more is nice. The hyena boss has the damage reduced. That's nice. Very prone to one-shotting people. There are some bugs fixed. Less pushing, that's also good. We have also some more hotfixes. Oh, I haven't seen that. Queen of Filth was not present in the Apex of Filth. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I haven't encountered these. So that's about it, guys. And what's also in the works is they will deploy the sometime midweek next week. First of all, guys, very important, they are going to bring Ascendancy class respect, right? People have been asking for that because, guys, imagine you are playing your first character and you don't want to look stuff up and you go for Acolyte of Chayolo, for example, right? But Invoker is better and you want to play Invoker later on, no chance, right? You have to reroll. That's a bit of a problem, so they are going to introduce that. I think you would have to do another Ascendancy trial that would award you the same amount of points. So, guys, for example, if you had 6 points, then you would have to do a trial that gives you 6 points. Then at the end, the trial master or Balbala will allow you to respect your Ascendancy. We'll see the details, of course. And another thing, this is actually somewhat important, is that I think we will have access to 3 charm slots, right, depending on your belt's eye level. So we won't need the additional charm slots thingy, right? We will have 3 charm slots in the end game. And that's very nice, guys, because I always had the problem. So some characters, very few characters, don't mind the stun or the freeze, so you can use the other, right? But most characters kind of need them both, right? You need a stun charm and you need a freeze charm, and you have to select between the two, right? Most of the time, if you don't have an additional charm slot. So having three will be pretty nice. You can do a freeze charm, a stun charm, and you could use maybe the magic find charm, which is not very good because it only works after you kill the rare. But it's also something. Or you can just do the, I don't know, the bleed remover, the ignite remover, that kind of thing. It's going to be pretty nice, and they are, I think, going to improve the charm feature altogether, because it's right now a little bit too niche, right? For example, guys, I have a frost star. I can't find the word. I have a freeze charm on my character, and occasionally it saves me from being frozen, right? That's it. From the entire mechanic, that's what I get. So now we have the unique charms, so I think they are going to improve. I think it's a little bit negligible at this point. I think they want to make it a little bit more marked, more important. So these are pretty nice. Yeah, that's about it. And by the way, a few people have asked me about the crossbow Deadeye build I have been playing. It's not fully done, right? I wanna try to provide a more complete thing, so you can expect it by tomorrow or so, right? I want to make the build a little bit better before I present it to you guys. So I'll see you around, and I'll see you on stream. Bye bye.